Alright, good evening everybody. It's Wednesday, January 10th, 2024 at precisealgorithmtrading.com. I am going to try to make this the fastest video I've ever done. Let's see if we can do that. Automated trading systems. This is the Dow. We went down a little bit today. We've been walking back and forth for a bit. Trades for today, 110. Two negative trades is what it is. The Russell, we're moving higher. We don't have new green dots yet, so we don't have new green equity peaks. This is our equity curve. And the trades for today are, well, there's just one positive trade. It's worth noting that you take those two negative trades, you put together a system like this with a secondary one, and you have one positive trade, and that takes care of the loss, and it actually has a little gain. And then you have the Russell, or I'm sorry, the NASDAQ here in Q. And we got a nice pop in the last day or two, and looks like we're going a little bit higher today. And all in, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades. For a net gain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losers, and still overall, I think we made a little gain there today. And if you see, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but we got this little bit of pop and a backfill, pop and a backfill. You get another pop and a backfill, pop and a backfill, pop and a backfill before we went into sideways churn and then moved lower. So what if we did that here? We'd be getting up into the neighborhood of the next highest equity peaks. And that is really what we're trying to do. This weekend, hopefully, the computer will cooperate. If it doesn't on Friday night, I'll do it over the weekend. We will put in our, actually, I ended up doing it last weekend too, our overall equity curve for 15 months worth of data. And you can see this all evens out when you really string it out over a little more than a year's worth of data. All right, that's that. Let's go to Thinkorswim. This is our daily chart on the left, hourly chart on the right. We've come down. We put in a new lower low on the daily. So we put in a higher high, and now we've put in a lower low. Really, if you just look at it off of these yellow pivot dots, that was a high and a higher low and a higher high and now a lower low. And the question is, are we going to put in a lower high here and then go to a new lower low? That's probably more potential than otherwise. We could come up here and spike up here in this neck of the woods, do a basically a probe for stops. They call it a stop hunt. Get up here in this neck of the woods, do a stop hunt, and then go lower. But that is if we move into that neck of the woods, can't get buyers there, and we just end up fading from there. You'll see a big candle or a big wick on the candle if that happens, and that would be a great selling opportunity, in my opinion, to basically put our stop above the new wick of the high candle and then just ride this thing lower. Now, we are really in a potential area where it could just be chop back and forth for a while before we get a new move higher. So if you're going to play this, you're going against the trend, which is up. The prevalent trend is up right now, and you just be playing it on the next series of trying to go from a lower high to a lower low. These markets are just easier to trade when everything's moving higher, but that is not the case right now. We're seeing resistance to the upside, so especially in the index products like the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Dow. And Russell, which let's buzz through those real quick. So the S&P went up 0.57% today. The Dow went up 170 points, which is only 0.45% nowadays. The Russell, I can't see it because it zeroes it out at the end of the day, but it probably went up 0.5%. So we'll put in IWM. We'll get a proxy for that. Oh, the Russell only went up 0.06. And the NASDAQ. Shoot, I hit the wrong thing. We're flipping back to futures here. So the computer's got to cooperate for a minute. And there we went. The NASDAQ went up 0.75%. So it was only that ATR flip only happened for, 4 or 5 days. And the transports went higher by 1% today. That's either an equal low or this is still a little bit lower low. TLT looks like we're moving lower. Gold. I'm sorry, let's do oil first. US oil pulled back 1.23%. So we're really just chopping around in this territory right here. The question is which way are we going to break? My contention is we're going to break higher. And we'll see if I'm right. And then gold, GLD. We're in an uptrend, obviously. We've put in lower highs and lower lows on the daily or the hourly over here. And just we got to see if we're just going to keep trudging higher. SLV for fun is basically toying with a stop out for me. If this thing breaks to the downside, I'm expecting some pretty bearish action here, all the way down to beyond 19. So if that happens, I want to keep my eye on it. And that's enough for stocks today and really commodities. Bullish percent indexes. I'm not breaking that record, am I? 8 minutes and 25 seconds so far. Here is INDU. This is the industrials. They went down 4.17. They sure look like they're going to roll over to me. The NYA down 0.27. That still has life in it. Transports didn't move today. NASDAQ down 0.3%. It's at 56.72. It's got to go past 54 to put in a new column of O's. That's 2.72, or actually 2.73 to make that happen. So we'll have to just wait and see. The SPX column of O's went down 1.34%. The OEX minus 2.6%. This is the chart probably that matters right now. We have 74 is the line we have to break, and we're sitting at 75. So I think it's inevitable at this point we're going to roll over to a new column of O's. We're going to have some back and forth at least. And the Was that the NDX? The NDX is minus 1.39% and already in that column of O's. So this is the kind of action I'm looking for on the OEX, that we already kind of have something going like that on the SPX. And if we get them all going this direction and we get back to some of those support lines or those basically buy areas, those places where there's more demand than there is supply, then we could see a bunch of things roll over and then immediately generally kick back up. So, and that's what I've got for the night. Other than that, take care, good trading, and have a great day tomorrow and a great night.